people, welcome back to another video. It's your girl Alex here, and let's talk about how you can start a vinyl decal shop from home. Per all these lovely rolls of vinyl and my last video, I'm actually starting up a vinyl decal shop, and it's going to be on Etsy. But vinyl decals are actually used a lot when it comes to helping like new business owners have like logos and labels. You can make vinyl decals for wedding parties, bedrooms. It's a lot of things you can do with permanent vinyl. So let me go ahead and show you the things you'll need, the equipment, the tools, so that way if you want to start a vinyl decal shop, you know what you need to do. Okay, so my setup is going to look different because I do have, number one, I have a lot of vinyl, as y'all can see. So I'm starting off pretty strong with a lot of colors, which means I can have a lot of products in my Etsy shop, which is what I wanted, okay? But as far as the cutter, you can use a Silhouette Cameo. You can also use a Cricut as well, but I am team Cameo. I always have been. I'm a little biased, so I love talking about the Silhouette Cameo. That's the cutting tool I'll use. You'll also need a cutting mat for your vinyl as well. Now, the rest of my setup here, I'm about to actually start preparing some listing photos, which I'll go see here in just a second. But you're gonna need a computer, a laptop, so that way you can hook it up to your Cameo and connect to the Silhouette Studio. You'll also need vinyl. Here's a guillotine, which is like a small like cutter basically. So let me show y'all, hold on. This is a guillotine, so I can put a product right here and then I raise it up and I slice it down. So this is going to be helpful. I mean, you can also use scissors, but I use a guillotine for a very clear and like sharp cut. So that way when I'm actually taking my listing pictures, the edges of my actual vinyl decal, they're not looking all wonky. I don't like all that. So I got a guillotine for like a more professional, like that crisp cut. I recommend my other camera for more content, y'all. I recommend some type of, you know, scale, so that way you can weigh your actual packages for the sake of shipping and all that stuff. It's important when you ship any physical product that you have a scale, because you just need to know how much your product is going to weigh. Now when it comes to actually shipping everything, this is where you can use your own discretion. However, I do recommend that you don't really like spend too much time and too much thought into like how you're going to package your decals, because we all know that when customers get their product, 9 times out of 10 they're not going to keep the package. So don't overly invest in like, well, let me just say this, because I don't want you guys to think that you don't have to do this. However, as someone who's had a business and it didn't work, put my time and effort into packaging and making sure things look really, really cute and all that stuff, half of the time that's not needed. So take this information with a grain of salt, but I will recommend that when it comes to your packaging, you don't have to overspend basically. So I got these poly mailers here. I got a bunch of them. They're very lightweight. They're bubble mailers. I got them off Amazon. I'm actually a part of the Amazon business, so that way, you know, I can expense things. All things are legit, things like that. So just something like this, if you want to make bigger decals, you just find bigger poly mailers. But all of that is going to be just super simple. And yeah, you don't have to overspend when it comes to your packaging process for your decals. And of course, you're going to need permanent, aka PSV, aka adhesive vinyl. Now, not only will you need vinyl, you'll also need what's called transfer tape, which I'm going to show y'all how to use this here in a second. But just to get like the supplies and equipment out the way, you don't need much to start. And that's a really good thing about having a vinyl decal shop. So per my last video, you guys saw me pretty much do my inventory unboxing, and I had a good time. Okay, I put everything away and I love that. But I just wanted to show you that you don't need much to get started. It takes time to gather a lot of resources when it comes to starting any type of business, so please pace yourself. But always remember that your market research is going to be the most important thing, honey, when it comes to starting any type of business. So also make sure that you do that as well. Here's the melanin PSV that I collaborated with Heat Transfer Warehouse with back in 2021. I'm actually adding these to my shop first. So let's go ahead and get this started so I can weed these out, cut these with the guillotine, take some product photos, and that way y'all can see the entire process. Okay, so before I really dive in, I just want to share that you can also customize your material in your Silhouette Studio. Let me show you a closer look. Okay, so in my Silhouette Studio, I literally named this particular setting Melanin PSV. So for this melanin vinyl I'm about to cut, it's upside down. But yeah, for this melanin vinyl I'm about to cut, this Cameo is already set up to cut it the way it's going to be at its best performance. So I have a blade depth of 4, my force is 10, my speed is 5, 1 pass, and that's pretty much much it cut edge. You can adjust those settings accordingly. But the reason why I'm sharing this is because I want you to know that when it comes to vinyl, you will have to test out your cut and test out the settings to make sure that, you know, your Cameo is cutting your vinyl and everything just looks the way that you want it to look. This isn't a long process, believe it or not, but you just have to take the time to practice and just to learn how everything goes when it comes to crafting with a vinyl cutter. Okay, so I got my piece of vinyl. Like I said, it's a Melanin PSV. I'll leave the link down this in my description below. I have my guillotine. I know this is hella small. I will get a big one, but for now, this is gonna do the job. I have a squeegee, some scissors just for like any like irregularities, okay, around the cut. Weeding tool, whatever weeding tool you use, y'all. Like, I'm not really picky about weeding tools. Whatever does the job is fine for me. And then the most important piece, okay, is the transfer masking tape. This is super important because this is what you have to put on your decal and then package it so that when your customer receives it, this is what they peel off on whatever surface they put the decal on. So please make sure that when you buy PSV, you also buy a transfer masking tape, because I mean, you pretty much can't use PSV without transfer masking tape. Okay, so that first design was actually pretty crooked and I didn't like that. So I started over, and this is, I guess, the first rendition of the Melanin PSV. I'm gonna do names first and then probably expand to like sayings, phrases, you know, get real creative with it, because why not? Okay, so the reason why I wanted to start with vinyl decals for my shop was because, number one, I have a silhouette Cameo and I want to make sure that I'm getting my money's back, right? Like, this is a $300 machine, okay? So I wanted to make sure I got my investment money back, because that's just how I see it. But another thing too with vinyl decals is that this is also in my current skill set. Like I said in my last video, I am keeping it simple. Yes, I can learn other crafting skills, which I do plan on doing, okay? But for this particular season, I'm not trying to deviate too much from my skill set, and I think that's really where you have to play into it. So I know how to weed and cut vinyl, I know how to design, I know how to think outside the box, okay? And I've also done a lot of market research. Now the market research part isn't gonna stop. However, getting started, I have a good idea of what area I can tap into, and so that's why I'm excited to do something that is really in my skill set, but also different from t-shirts, if that makes sense. So this might be the longest part of the process because I need to figure out how this all looks, which I'm going to put this together here shortly. But this is the kind of like flat lay photo, what is this called? Can I think of the word, y'all? Backdrop that I got from Amazon. I personally love marble, so when I saw this I was like, yep, had to have it. This wood, I'm not really sure. However, I think I might run either today or tomorrow, or just like find something throughout my house. I have some rose petals that I can add to it to just like zhuzh it up for like the product photos, because let's be for real, I don't care how good your product is, your SEO, yes, that is important, but we all know that product photo, yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, so here's the experimental part when it comes to taking my product photos, because guess what? I really don't have a plan, but I just know that once I see it and it looks good, I'm gonna roll with it. I'm gonna test out two different shots. I wanna do one where there's no rose petals. always have like rose petals or just something to add more of that, you know, that je ne sais quoi, I guess. And then for a more professional photo touch, I do have my other camera, you know, because it's quality, y'all, the quality. So just as a, I guess, preview, this is what I'm working with. I love these so much. And yes, I purposely got my new nails because guess what, y'all? People love shopping with their eyes, and my nails are really cute. This is not about the nails, but I just wanted to look really good because if I'm holding, you know, a decal and they see my nail, I just wanted to look cute, you know, that's the vision. So got my nails done. This is what I'm thinking. I'm gonna take a few shots with this by itself just to see how it looks. But y'all, this is really good. Like honestly, even though you guys are on my digital camera, you really can't even see like the other parts of my island here. So this is a really good flat lay. If you hold it over like that with some light, period. Okay, so let me see what I'm about to do. So like I said, I want to take it without the rose petals first, and then if I don't like it, I'll add the rose petals and then just see what's gonna be the best, you know, the best, I guess, accent for these pictures. Okay, so this is just an iPhone shot, and honestly this is just with the regular settings. I don't have anything like special on. I didn't mess with the saturation or anything, so I don't like that glare on the Y for the name Shay, so I'm gonna fix that. But I mean, listen, the iPhone, as much as these iPhones cost, honey, they definitely should do what they need to do. So I like that one so far. Okay, so I definitely need to experiment with my digital camera as well, because I mean, you know, you just gotta just try it out with both. I might add like a couple filters and play around with some pictures in Lightroom. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna wrap up this video here, you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching how to start a vinyl decal shop. I'll leave the links to things I've used in this video down below, so just be sure to check out the description box. As always, subscribe if you're liking the vibe, and I'm gonna catch you in my next video. Bye, y'all.